Hey everyone, looking for a new anime? Tired of never finding an anime you haven't watched yet? If so, you're in the right video, because today we're going to show you 10 anime that have never been put on the channel, and you probably haven't watched yet. We're 99% sure you'll find at least one new anime on this list. So, before we start the video, if you could leave your like and subscribe to the channel, it would help a bunch. And, depending on your feedback, we can bring a part 2 of this video with more new anime. As always, let's start the video. At number 10 is Frankenstein Family. Tanis's parents are mad scientists who live outside of normal society. They locked up their own children on an isolated island and did experiments on them in secret, turning Tanis's older brother and 3 older sisters into strange creatures. One day, their parents were arrested, and the siblings were moved to another island by the welfare office. The trouble is that none of the siblings except Tanis know how to interact in modern-day society. And at number 9 is Princess Resurrection. When hero Hyorimi tries to save a beautiful young woman from certain death, he ends up a dead hero himself. However, since the drop-dead girl is Hime, daughter of the King of Monsters, his reward is to come back as a not-quite-living soldier in her honor guard of horror. That means helping fighting off the army of supernatural monstrosities Hime's siblings are unleashing against her in hopes of moving up the ladder of succession. And if facing off with vampires and zombies isn't bad enough, how can anyone be prepared for the really weird ones like weresharks, pandas, and killer dumplings? This sure as hell isn't the afterlife hero was hoping for. But the really sad part is that Hime is the good girl in all of this, or at least as close to good as you can come when you're on the wrong side of the gates of hell. And at number 8 is recently My Sister is Unusual. This anime follows a family just starting to rebuild. When they marry, Mr. and Mrs. Kanzaki bring a teenage son and daughter along for the ride. But high school freshman Mitsuki Kanzaki is less than thrilled. Stinging from a history of absent and abusive father figures, she is slow to accept her stepfather and stepbrother. But after an incident lands Mitsuki in a hospital, she finds herself possessed by the ghost of Hiyori Kotobuki, a girl her age who was deeply in love with Mitsuki's stepbrother Yuya. Hiyori cannot pass on to her final reward because of her unrequited love for Yuya, meaning she's got to consummate it in Mitsuki's body. Now, Mitsuki's life depends on getting Hiyori to heaven, but will she get used to sharing herself with a pushy, amorous ghost? Can she overcome her distrust of her new family? Can she bring herself to fulfill Hiyori's feelings for Yuya? And might she be hiding some feelings of her own? And at number 7 is Dagashi Kashi. Out in the countryside stands a sweet shop run by the Shikata family for 9 generations. Shikata Dagashi, a small business selling traditional Japanese candy. However, despite his father's pleas, Kokonotsu Shikata, an aspiring manga artist, admittedly refuses to inherit the family business. However, this may start to change with the arrival of the eccentric Hotaru Shidare. Hotaru is in search of Kokonotsu's father, with the goal of bringing him back to work for her family's company, Shidare Corporation, a world-famous sweets manufacturer. Although the senior Shikata initially refuses, he states that he will change his mind on one condition: if Hotaru can convince Kokonotsu to take over the family shop. And so begins Hotaru's mission to enlighten the boy on the true joy of delicious and nostalgic Dagashi. And at number 6 is Haru Chika. Chika Homura begins her high school career with the goal to develop a cute girl persona. After quitting the volleyball team despite her all-star status, Chika decides to join her school's underrated wind instrument club and play the flute, believing it to be the most delicate and feminine instrument. For the first time in 9 years, Chika reunites with her childhood friend and total opposite, Haruta Kamijo. Unfortunately for Chika, Haruta is not fooled by her efforts to become more endearing. But this does not deter Chika, and she develops a crush on the band instructor, Shinjiro Kusakabe. But so does Haruta. However, Chika's high school life just won't go according to plan. As mysteries begin appearing around her and her friends, the club members must work together to solve the mysteries plaguing the school, all while trying to find more members to compete in musical competitions. And at number 5 is 3 Leaves, 3 Colors. Having gone from pampered to poor after the bankruptcy of her father's company, Yoko Nishikawa struggles to drop her princess-like persona and make friends at her all-girls high school. One day, while eating alone in a nearby forest, she has a chance encounter with Futaba Odagiri, the super energetic transfer student, and Teru Hayama, an innocent-looking girl with a surprisingly direct and sometimes mean personality. Despite their differing personalities, the 3 girls, who all have the kanji for leaf in their name, begin an unlikely friendship as they try to navigate through an amusing and spontaneous adventure known as high school life. Sansa Sanyo is a cheerful, cute series revolving around 3 close but very different friends as they try to balance the everyday challenges that school and adolescence have to offer. And at number 4 is Our Home's Fox Deity. The Mizuchi bloodline has long been hunted by yokai, or monsters. Toru and Noboru Takagami are descendants of this bloodline, and under their grandmother's discretion, are given a secret weapon to combat these monsters. It is Tenko Kugen, a fox deity who can take the shape of a man or woman at will. This mischievous deity is accompanied by a shrine maiden, Ko, who will both live with the Takagami brothers at their house. Life just got complicated. You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? And at number 3 is Beautiful Bones, Sakurakao's Investigation. When Shotaro Tatewaki first meets Shikiraki Koju, he knows his life will never be the same. Initially believing her to be responsible for a disappearance in the neighborhood, he later learns of her true talent, analyzing bone specimens. Sakurakao has quite the collection of reconstructed animal bones, but she wishes she had more of the human variety, much to the chagrin of those around her. Soon, Shotaro begins accompanying the eccentric osteologist on many different unsolved cases she comes across, usually in the form of decomposing bodies. But with so many incidents happening around them, could there be a larger mystery at work in their lives? This anime is a story of 2 unlikely partners, each showing in their own way that bones can tell how one died, but only people can tell how they lived. And at number 2 is Dantalian no Shoka. 6 months ago, Lord Hugh Anthony Disward, also known as Huey, lost his eccentric grandfather, Sir Wesley Disward, who was a renowned collector of rare books. His grandfather's will states that in order to inherit his manor and everything inside it, he must take guardianship over the Bibliotheca Mystica de Dantalian, an archive that contains forbidden knowledge, and also take care of a mysterious girl called Dalian. As Huey settles into the manor, an old rival of his grandfather's arranges a meeting with him. Dalian, knowing the rival to be Wesley's killer, tags along and discovers that the murderer is in possession of a phantom book, a cursed tome that Wesley tried to seal away. When the books puts the two in danger, Huey discovers that the Bibliotheca Mystica de Dantalian and Dalian are one and the same, and she entrusts Huey with the key to unlocking the knowledge stored within her. Together, Dalian and Huey seal the book away, and thus begins an unlikely partnership as they solve mysteries caused by other phantom books. And at number 1 is Goodbye Teacher Despair. Nozomu Itoshiki is a high school teacher so pessimistic that even the smallest of misfortunes can send him into a pit of raging despair. Some of these catastrophes even lead to suicide attempts. Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei is a satirical slice of life comedy set in the modern day, covering various aspects of Japanese life and culture through Nozomu and his interactions with his students. Kiriko Miri, a recluse who refuses to leave the school, Abiru Kobishi, an enigma who frequently arrives to class with severe and mysterious injuries, the hyper-optimistic Kafuka Fura, Nozomu's polar opposite, and several other unusual girls, all of whom are just as eccentric as their teacher. Well, this was today's video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to leave your like and to subscribe to the channel, and also enter on my Discord. Link in the description. As always, see you in the next video.